everybody, Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. Well, used to be several times per week. My schedule the last few months has been a little crazy, so say at least a few times a week at this point. This is Life Lessons 126, and obviously the Life Lessons series is a continual series, hopefully, to get you going into directions that are going to lead you in a positive direction, at least we hope, and kind of connect on a deeper level. If you're new and you're looking to gain more content, please subscribe, like, comment below, all that good stuff. If you have a topic you'd like to see covered, would love to hear from you. The Life Lesson Series is just things life may be trying to teach you that you may be missing upon occasion. And so, the nature of things, pretty cool. In any event, would love to connect with you. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way, we can get in contact with you and make that happen. So, the first thing is all things are possible. Both negative and positive things are possible, and life is a series of possibilities, nothing more, nothing less. And so when we begin to understand that life in and of itself is a series of possibilities, it's easier to live well. It's easier to connect well. The reason for that is because at the end of the day, the majority of individuals look at life as, oh, my life is either going to go well or my life is going to go horribly. They don't understand the value of, hey, life is beautiful and it will have challenges and pitfalls and it will have positive experiences, but some of it is random. It's not like person who lives a certain way is always going to have positive, or a certain lives another certain way is always going to have negative. There's variance in the way that things are going. So the next thing is live as often as you can with no regrets. Now that doesn't mean that we don't look back nostalgically and say, gee, I wish something different had happened, but it means give your complete focus and your complete effort to whatever it is you're working on, working through, or working with. That way you can get to a place where you begin to understand the value of the sacrifices you're making, the risks you're taking or not taking, and the things that you need to do. When you begin to understand that risks in themselves are neither good nor bad, they're just opportunities ramped up, and you kind of do a risk assessment, you look at the positive and negative possible outcomes, and you go, hey, this is worth it to me. And that's the other thing too. Don't let another person determine what something is worth to you, either for you, meaning your time, your energy, your effort, your, is it worth it to get paid XYZ amount, whatever that is. And kind of connect. That's kind of where it is too. And so it begins to become a little bit more complicated. It begins to become a bit more balanced out, or negatively or positively, connected. But that's kind of where you have things going in a direction where you gotta kind of look at things and see things for what they are. Sometimes a risk pays off, other times it doesn't, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't take it. The next is look for opportunities to serve, because how much you're willing to serve without expectation of receiving anything in return will directly affect the amount of value that you take and that you make for the benefit of others, and also the difference you make in the world. Your personal worth is somehow tied to service, in that you don't necessarily have to always serve to be worth something. However, your overall worth to your community, your neighborhood, your friends, your family, your loved ones is based on your willingness to serve. Now, it's hard and somewhat altruistic for some people, at least in theory, to serve without expectation, but serving without expectation increases the value of the service itself for a number of reasons. The next thing to look at is life is a game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's how you play that matters. And by play, I don't mean that we don't take life seriously, but there are strategies to winning at life. There are things you will do that will make you lose. There are moves you will make that make you lose. When you take everything terribly seriously, you're not getting enough joy out of the process. You will face adversity, and so how you deal with adversity. It's not what happens to you that matters. It's what you do with what happens to you that matters. And so your responses, your reactions, your reactionary approach is more important than your circumstance. And finally, you determine what makes you happy. There is the ability to find happiness in a given moment. Everything is a choice. Everything is a value of focus. You determine what matters to you. You determine, where things go, and so that can kind of come about in a valuable way. And so hopefully this is helpful. The more specifically you kind of term your questions or your ways in which dealing with life, the easier it is to get valuable connectives. And so when we begin to do that, we also begin to get to a positive place for our daily living. So hopefully this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.